cherish all the time you spend, you tuned in too. It's time again to cherish all the time you spend, you tuned in too. It's the number one podcast. The topics of discussion when we broadcast. So all them artificial man jokes, we do it natural from the concrete to a public standpoint. Real, wherever you from, life is coexistence, but to know the real, you just gotta listen. Wherever you from, life is coexistence, but to know the real, you just gotta listen.
What up, everybody, and welcome to the 52 Scott Podcast. This is For Women Wednesday. I'm your host, Freddie G, joined by my co-host, K Money, Slash, and Comedian 96. Collectively, we are the Mind of Men. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter at 52 Scott Podcast, on Instagram and Facebook, the 52 Scott Podcast, and for all my YouTubers, don't forget to like and subscribe. And welcome to another Women Wednesday. All right, today we got a special guest riding on the 52 Scott with no transfer, speaking from a woman's perspective and back by popular demand. Joining us again, we have PV graduate, a member of the Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, Miss Shirwan Delight. Okay, now, today's discussion will be addressing Week 3's Women Wednesday episode, and that episode was called Women, Why Are You Single? Thank you for joining us today, Shirwan.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, so, in your opinion, I want you to share with us today, why do you think women are single?
There are many reasons. Sometimes it's a choice. Okay? Most times it's a choice. Some women have been in just different relationships where they're making a decision to focus on themselves. So many women, they give so much of themselves. And so sometimes, let me step back and take a break and focus on myself.
Okay.
That's a start.
Okay. So I'm in agreement with you when you say that most women are single because of choice. Now, for our listeners out there, if you're unfamiliar with that particular episode, that is episode 3, Women, Why Are You Single? And throughout that episode, you will hear me mention that most women are single today by choice. However, there are a few women out there that actually are single and they blame the man as the reason of why they're single. Comedian 96, what do you think of that?
Well, I mean, they blame the man. I mean, it's for various reasons, man. I can't just put one thing on it. Sometimes it can be a man could be doing so well for such a long period of time and maybe fall off the horse. Like I've stated before in one of my other shows, it's for better or for better. It's never for better or for worse. So once they go through a rough patch, some women just can't handle a rough patch.
You agree with that, Shirwan?
Some kind of expound on we can't handle a rough patch.
Some. I didn't say all.
Okay.
Some women can't handle a rough patch.
Okay, and so are they leaving? Are they leaving the relationship? Is that what you're saying?
They won't leave.
When
They'll start doing disrespectful things. They may not leave because, I don't know, something in their psyche and say, I ain't going to leave. I'm going to make him leave me, or I'm going to do something stupid to where he'll leave me, or, to where they'll do this psyche game to where it'll end up being.
Let me jump in, Comedian 96. I think women get more antagonistic, when that situation arises, is what he's trying to say. Pushing buttons, intentionally. Okay,
and that's the level of maturity of the woman.
I agree.
Okay.
I totally agree.
So probably young girls will do that. A woman, when she's fed up with you, you will know.
Case in point, Joe Smith, the basketball player, the one, the guy that just, is that the name? Yeah. I mean, think about it. We never heard of that lady, not one time. But as soon as he's running out of money, she talking about we need money, this is why I'm doing this. See how crazy she talked to him? That's what I mean. We never heard of this lady, not until they ran out of money. That's
Okay.
case in point.
Okay, and Shirwan, I know that you are a faithful listener of our shows, and that particular show, the Women Why Are You Single show, I'm sure that there's some bullet points you may have noted that you wanted to touch on. So, and I know we said a lot on that show. So, is there something you wanted to actually touch on for us to elaborate or go any deeper on?
Absolutely. One of you all said, you mentioned us being accountable. So I just kind of want to know, how does that equate to us being single, women holding ourselves accountable?
Well, normally, I think it may depend on who's asking the question. You know, if a man is asking a woman why you single versus a female asking a woman why you're single, you may get a different answer for different reasons. But I think more or less when a man asks a woman why she's single, 9 times out of 10 he's going to get a response blaming the man, you know, based on past relationships that she's been in, you know, and it may not have always been, you know, the man's fault. You know, is she keeping it a buck? You know, that's the question. But again, I feel like it all depends on who's asking that question. But
Okay.
from a man's perspective, we're heavily criticized. And I wanted to touch on, I don't know how you keep getting on this bus without a transfer, but we need to check on that.
Right.
So, you all also mentioned us being submissive. And
Yeah, I mean, I don't see anything wrong with mixing old school values with new school values.
okay, so it's nothing wrong with it. However, again, knowing what the order is in the relationship, first of all, establishing that it is a relationship, a monogamous relationship, possibly heading toward marriage, if not already married, okay? Women, we don't want to get in a relationship and a man is all over the place. We're not going to submit at all, okay? So we have to see that man is stable and is for us and means us well, and his attention is on us as the woman, not several women, okay? So when you all say be submissive, most women don't mind being submissive, a woman, not young girls. Most women don't mind being submissive when there's order in the relationship.
You mind sharing what you think the order should be?
Yeah, I was just about to ask
Well,
something like that.
Biblically speaking, the God gave the instructions, the directive to man. So if your man is not being led by Christ, then he can't lead me anywhere. Where is he leading me if he's not being led by Christ? So that's first things first. Okay? So I'm not being submissive to a man. First of all, I'm not going to be with a man if he's not being led by Christ. That's why I said the foundation must be laid up front anyway.
Yeah, and I do want to say that Comedian 96 actually touched on the order of his household. So Comedian 96, if you could do me a favor, and I want you to reiterate the order in which your household would be ran.
Okay, so with that being said, all right, look at it like this. I tell people that, you know, the woman reports to the man to Jesus, Jesus to God. That's the order, right? So take that order. Now the man, I report to Jesus. Okay? Take this conversation and I go report to my woman. Right? Do you think, not all women, not all, just some, do you think I can have a conversation with Jesus the way the women conversate with the men? Do you can talk to the men? Crazy. I can't. Do you get what I'm saying?
I absolutely get what you're saying.
Can I go to Jesus? If I go in order, my woman just talked to me crazy. Yeah, blah, 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 blah. I'm going to go talk to Jesus. And I go talk to Jesus that way. Do you think? I can't do that. So give me the same respect as I have to give Jesus, and so on and so forth.
Boom.
So that's all we asking for. Have a civil conversation. When things go bad, stick around. Don't, because it's gonna go good again. Because one thing about a man, we gonna go get it.
There it is.
Okay.
Real man.
So I have something, and I want to touch on that as well. The real man. So first things first. Are we speaking of relationships or marriages? That's number one. Because I know, and I heard you say, oh, you can go to work and be submissive. Y'all are submissive to everybody else, to the light company. That we don't look at that as submissiveness. We just know that have to happen.
And see, that's where the problem lies.
But
right
again,
there.
I think when the directive was given too, it was given within the confines of marriage. Not just, dating isn't in the Bible, if we just want to be real.
Yes, please.
It's not in the Bible. And so me being with you and being with this man and being with that's not order. Mm-hmm. It's not order. So the directive again was given to man, but it was given within the confines of marriage. So when you all say, "Oh, you need to be submissive," and
Okay.
and the Word of God does say that,
Okay,
I'm not against it.
Let me use another example. Then you want to go there with the submissive. Okay, all right. So if all men woke up every day and started be like, "Girl, bitch, what's up?" Hey, every man. Most women will get up, nigga, you better get the fuck out of my face. Girls will do that. Not all, but a lot. They will get in your face, in your grill. So what if every man, reverse it. What if every man woke up every morning, "Hey, bitch, what you wearing today?" How would you look at us? If your man woke up in the morning and said, "Hey, bitch," with some gay shit. So look at how we look at y'all when y'all get to talking crazy, and excuse me saying gay stuff, but some feminine, acting feminine, like. So some ladies, not all, they will talk crazy like a man, like they can whoop a man, like they can do something to a man. So you're acting manly, masculine, which is not a turn on at all. Even the rapping women. Look at Megan. She tapped like a dude. Bitch. No, excuse me. But I got emotion. Excuse me. No. Not.
Okay. Speak to that, sure one.
Here's the thing. What she does, that sells. That's her money.
It doesn't matter.
No, listen to me.
It's not
It's entertainment.
feminine.
It's not feminine, but it's entertainment, and that's her money. She's young. I went to school with her mom. I used to.
No, I love her. Don't get me wrong.
Right? No, I'm just saying.
I love her.
So whatever her upbringing is, whatever they're telling her to do, whatever it is, it's entertainment. When she's in a relationship, we don't know if she's submissive to the guy she dates after all of that, the glimpse and the glam, and she may very well be somebody else. So we see what we see from the outside.
Okay.
Now, you said something I was going to touch on.
Okay. So let me ask you this. So give me 1 second, because Comedian 96, this may put you on the spot, but I'm curious now.
Okay.
Because both of y'all said a lot. Now, you gave an example of you reporting to God or Jesus. You
Jesus
reporting to Jesus. Yeah.
And I report to Jesus.
Yeah. You reporting to Jesus. And if you're talking to Jesus, you can't talk to Jesus like your woman would talk to you.
Right.
And so you gave that example, and I thought that was pretty good. But now I'm curious. Let me ask you a question. So, do we all, although I'm addressing this question to Comedian 96, and you answer for everyone else, can we all agree that everything of Jesus is good?
Yes.
Okay. Can we all agree that if something's bad coming in, that comes from Satan? for the most part.
No.
Yes.
No, because
No.
sometimes God allows it.
Okay. He allows it. We understand that.
With
but
reasoning.
where is it coming from?
Right.
What do you mean? Where's it coming from?
If there's bad,
He allows.
He's trying
He-
to
he
get
allowed
this
our
moment,
attention.
right.
okay, hear what I'm saying. I agree that he allows it. And I'm asking, where is it coming from? Is it coming from God? Is bad coming from God? Jesus.
Satan.
It's not
There it
bad.
is. There it is.
Satan
There it
is
is.
seeking whom he
I
may
get that. I
devour
get that.
among the earth.
Yeah, Job. I get it.
Right.
I get it. Okay. Have you tried my servant Job? Job, God say, hey, try Job. I get
Just
that.
don't do-
I
right.
get that. But what I'm trying to ask, because I need to stay focused with Comedian 96, what I'm trying to make sure is, where's this bad coming from? Is that bad actually coming from Jesus? And not to get sidetracked on the orders or lose the audience. Is the bad coming from Jesus?
No,
Okay.
it's not coming from
Oh,
Jesus,
okay.
in my opinion.
Okay. I agree. Now, Comedian 96, you said you couldn't go and talk to Jesus the way that a woman would talk to you, right?
I can't go talk crazy. to
Yeah, you
Jesus.
can't talk to
Basically,
him.
that's all I'm saying. I
Okay.
can't talk crazy.
No, I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. I get it.
Okay.
But what do you say to the woman that says Jesus can't actually physically talk back? He spiritually speaks to your spirit, and when he speaks, he's always speaking good. He's not speaking bad to you. So you won't never get nothing bad coming from Jesus. What do you say to that woman who says that to you? Because that woman is physically there to speak to you. If you come and talk to her, and she's there to physically speak to you.
If she used that as a
What do you say?
defense,
Yeah.
I'm gonna think she's of the devil. I'm just being honest with you. You ask me a question,
Yeah.
because the devil knows the Bible, and he's gonna twist it, and that's the first thing I'm gonna think. She's from the devil.
Okay, speak to that, sure one.
So not everything in relationships will be good. We know that.
Yeah.
Not everything is from the devil. God allows circumstances to occur in our relationships. Sometimes we choose relationships that God didn't choose for us.
Right.
So we do see when things are a little patchy and they get rough, and women will think, I always ask God to reveal to me, is this the man for me? Please show me. Always.
So
if you're in tune,
Do you think that most women listen to God?
I can't say that. I can't speak for most women, but they should. That should be their point of reference.
So now it seems to me that if that man is lined up with the Heavenly Father and a woman is lined up with the Heavenly Father, they will recognize each other as that, and she would have no problem falling in line and being submissive.
She shouldn't, unless there are other factors. Because sometimes women, there are other things going on. You can be a spiritual person. The guy can be a spiritual person, but there are some other flaws that a woman may not agree with, or some other pet peeves
Okay.
that a woman may not
So-
agree with.
Now when you say flaws and pet peeves, so let's go deeper.
Okay.
So I have this belief that when you're married and you're in a relationship and there's an argument that occurs, you need to know who you're arguing with. Let me go deeper. So, are you arguing with the male trait, or are you arguing with the male personality? Because I believe that personalities can be altered and changed, but the male trait stays the same, and you would find that trait in every man. So that argument, if you're arguing with that individual, that'll be the same argument that you would have with every man you meet, versus if you're arguing with his personality,
Yeah.
then he can alter that to compromise with you to make things smoother.
You
Go ahead,
doctored
speak to
that
that.
one.
You ready?
That was Dr.
Freddie G.
Dr.
And the G stand for Good G. Shout out to Good G. You know who you are.
So here's the thing. When you're in tune with your mate, you know what their personality is when you've dated long enough, when you've been with that person. Even when they switch, whether that switch is good or bad, patterns change. Women, we look for patterns. We do, just like men do. You may never say it. We know when your patterns change, whether it's for the good or the bad. You never have to tell me what you're going to do. Show me.
Okay.
Show me. If you're a liar, I'm going to know you're a liar. Quickly.
Okay.
Quickly.
Okay.
Whatever it is that we don't care for, that we don't like, we see it early on.
Okay.
Most women see it early on. Now, do we put it off to the side and say, okay, well, maybe he'll change? We give a lot of grace when it comes to men. A lot of grace. Sometimes too much grace.
Now, you know the shoe could be on the other foot with that.
I was just about
Now,
to say
Is
that could go
grace?
both ways.
Yeah.
I
That's what
agree.
was about to
It
say.
does go both. It goes both ways. I agree. But women, I think we are more. Men, you all don't have the patience that you all will leave. We will stay and try to hold on to things a long time. Men, you can be gone on. You're in a whole different relationship. You gone. Physically, you gone. Mentally, you've checked out. Women, there's always a glimpse of hope for most women, because guess what? We saw potential.
Believing things could actually get better.
Right. Or we've seen the positive, or we've seen you do that. We just want you to do that with us.
Now, let me
sometimes.
ask you, how often does that happen?
It-
How many relationships do you go through just like that?
I don't know, because I can't speak from that. Thank God that hasn't been my story.
Okay.
So
But-
I
but
can't.
there
But
are
I
some
have friends. I really do.
That go in and out of stuff
right.
like that. How many times does that happen where you not seeing the red flags or not reacting to the red flags?
Now
If you
with red
know,
flags, I think
that's what the red flags are.
I
When you say you saw this early on, you just didn't say that.
it
That's
may
a red
be
flag.
something very. It is, but it may be something simple.
But
It's
you
a flag-
notice
it's a red flag.
So my thing is, what I'm saying is, you can't blame the man
For checking out.
for checking out at
and
that
I don't
point.
think we blame-
You checked it out.
Some women, not all women blame men. Anybody
Yeah.
that I've been with, I don't blame them. I think it was a decision made when we split. That's what it was. We weren't angry. We knew that was the best thing. And sometimes being friends after the fact, some people can do it, some people can't.
Yeah,
Hey,
that's true.
And
so
so-
I'm glad you said that, because I want to backtrack for a second. You mentioned something a little earlier when you said that about women holding something accountable, holding themselves accountable, and it was something that K Money said on that previous show, where he says as they get older, they then start to hold themselves accountable. Could you speak to that?
Well, I was asking him, what are we, if we're not blaming, like I said, all women don't blame men when there's a separation. Now, excuse me, if we're blindsided by something, that's different. We will blame, because we didn't see that coming. That was, you did A, B, C, and D, you were still doing ... with me, and now this is happening. So where did that come from? So that's where the blame, not that we won't take accountability.
Well, I'm sorry, go ahead.
A mature woman will take accountability for her actions.
So, is there an age when a woman, what's the average age when a woman matures, in your opinion?
Well, I know some 25 or 30-year-old women
Exactly,
that are
so-
very mature,
Depends on the
because
individual.
it depends on their upbringing. Some young girls had to raise themselves, or they were raised by grandmothers and
Yeah.
people with values and morals.
Don't know no better.
So you have those young girls who weren't guided well,
Yeah.
and then you have those who had to step up.
So a mature woman would recognize those red flags, and that would detour that man from checking out, as you say we do or can do.
Here's the thing. When you all are ready to check out, you check out anyway.
Yeah, it's pretty much too late once a man checks out. Like you say, mentally and physically, you know, we're somewhere else.
Yeah.
And so I think as women, we need to learn when we see that to start to create that separation in our hearts and minds to prepare to heal. We need to heal. Let you go on about your business.
So you saying waving the red flag? I mean the white flag, pretty much.
Throw up the chair. Just throw whatever you need to do to get out of an unhealthy relationship.
Okay.
They're not good. If you see, that it becomes a toxic relationship, get out of it.
Okay, let's shift gears for a second. So, in the previous show, I mentioned about removing sex for women and removing money off the table. Do you have something you want to speak? Do you want to speak to that?
Women, don't ever think we're held or, we're in bondage by your money. Women can get money. Women are money makers.
Facts.
Whether it's in a sexual manner, whether it's in, we just have connections. Women can get money and women can get sex. So men should never feel that that's all we want y'all for. Because we can get that in, just like you all can. Y'all can get it anywhere.
What happens when we see women putting that on display and it appears that that's all that they're interested in, material things, the money, and if he doesn't make X amount of dollars or he doesn't have nice things, then we are not interested. And so we feel like we have to go out and we have to have these things to get the caliber of woman that we think we may want, if that makes sense.
It does, and that shouldn't be your choice.
No, it should be the one that want us.
Here's the thing. I know the last time I was here, we spoke on independent women briefly. Most women make their own money. Do I like to hear women say they don't need a man? I don't. I think it was God designed for us to be a man's helpmeet. I'm a firm believer in that. So I think that it is a beautiful thing. I think love is beautiful. So when women say, I don't need a man, and most women or some women probably feel that way because they've had to carry that load alone and by themselves for a while. So, but let the right man come along. Guess what they're going to do? They're going to relinquish that role. They're going to relinquish that weight.
Okay, I feel that.
Yeah,
so
that makes sense.
So let me ask you this then. Before we close here, I want you to speak to something else here. So I want you to be open and candid about what role does the man play with women being single?
Well, initially when I first heard that, I said, you all don't play a role in me being single because it is my choice to be single.
Okay.
Now, with that being said, again, when you enter into that relationship with that man, there should be no blame. We should get to know one another well, but it should be established exactly what we're doing. All of that should be laid out. You should know exactly where the relationship is going, what you're doing, and you'll find out. All of that will come,
Okay.
You shouldn't have a determining factor on whether or not I'm single as a woman.
Okay, I get that. So let me close with this. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Kevin, you want to speak
I wanted
to
to
that?
ask a question, sure one, before we got up out of here, and touching back on being submissive. Now, in a marriage, we have to assume that, if a woman has decided to marry a man, then obviously she believes in him and she should go into the marriage being submissive. But at what point, do you agree with that?
I agree.
First off, okay, so at what point during the dating stage, if at all, should she become submissive, or do you think it should happen after they jump the broom?
No.
Immediately.
I believe, because if you read the Word of God, it tells us a man that findeth a wife. We're already wives.
Already.
We've already done we're in our roles. We're in our positions already. So when you all come, we're already doing it. It's already being done. So it's okay to be submissive then if we see that where you go, the right man and the right person is following Christ.
Well, you hit it on the nail on the coffin. You said find it a wife. So
When
that's
you all
the key, fellas. You got to find a wife, not a girlfriend.
Exactly.
That's the catch. Most of these girls are not girlfriend material. I mean, wife material. They just
Findeth a wife,
Okay.
not a girlfriend.
so I agree with you on that.
Thank you.
Well, this was a pretty good show today. Awesome. Sure one delight. It was definitely a delight to have you join us today.
Thank you.
And you said a lot of things that we touched on previous shows. And it actually, some of the things that you said is kind of in line with my beliefs. So with this particular show and with the episode that we covered to discuss, it sounds as if you are in agreement with me. And that is, women are single by choice.
Absolutely.
This includes another dope episode. Tune in tomorrow for Think Thursday. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter at 52 Scott Podcast, on Instagram and Facebook, the 52 Scott Podcast. And for all my YouTubers, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. Remember, the only way we grow is if you let them know.